Good morning, guys. It is into thin air. It's 6:48 a.m., September 6th, 2017. All right, guys, we got a little bit of new info really quick. We are still at sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. The millibars dropped to 914 last night, which means the storm actually got stronger overnight like we thought. It is still moving west, northwest. Picked up a little bit of speed, 16 miles an hour now, guys. And that's going to play a role because that's going to affect all these different charts, and it's going to be a big part in when this thing decides to turn north, which I still think is absolutely going to happen. Now, I was reading some articles before that this thing may make landfall as a Category 4 storm in Florida. That is still a very high possibility. I want to show you what I'm seeing right now. This is set for Wednesday. This is current. Here's Thursday. Here's Friday. Now notice it's beginning to pass north over all these islands. Yesterday and the day before, it had the eye passing right over the northern coast of these places. So a lot of these models are shifting north and they're shifting east. That's not to say they won't change again, but as we get closer and closer and time begins to run out of where this thing has to go, the models get more detailed, and a lot of them are beginning to come together, guys. And like we were saying, east side is where this storm is looking to go. Now we still have a pretty dramatic hook going on here. So here's Saturday, right near Bahamas, Cuba, and then watch this. That's where it makes its first hook north, dramatic hook. And then, guys, according to this model, again, it's showing the eye of this hurricane completely passing the east side of Florida and Miami and moving straight up towards Georgia. Now, again, this might change. That is not to say that the east coast of Florida is not going to get hammered by weather. There are storms going on right now on the east coast of Florida, as well as a lot of the east coast. That is a separate situation. That's part of the jet stream that I've been talking about of a weather front. And that's what's been forcing Irma to stay low. Now that that's passing through, Irma can now push its way north, and that's what these models are showing. Here's Sunday the 10th again. Here's the 11th, guys. Look at the difference between the 10th and the 11th. After all this westward movement we've had, it's been all along this area. All of a sudden, it wants to make that hook, and that's because the pressure above it in the jet stream and other factors such as the Atlantic and the system going on in the Gulf are going to allow it to go north. Again, as we get closer, we're going to have more detail, but these maps are all starting to come together. This is not to say that Florida is not going to get hit by this hurricane. This may change. This thing might slam right into Florida. So I want to stress that, guys. I want to be very clear with the words I say. Florida is very, very much at risk right now, and they need to be watching this. But guys, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, I think need to be just as aware as Florida is, because we're getting down to it. We're talking 96 to 120 hours till possible landfall. All right, so when it gets down to a couple days of prep time, that's when water starts to run out. As we've all seen, the gas runs out, and it's not just about these places that get hit. It's the surrounding areas that start feeling a domino effect from this, guys. When water runs out in one place or gas runs out in another, what do? You go to the next one, and eventually it spreads out. So people need to think about this stuff, especially after Harvey. Harvey was a huge deal. It caught a lot of people off guard, even though we were watching it. So it's a lesson learned, and we got to make smart choices and think about our families and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm rambling too much. Here's Monday the 11th. Here's the 12th. I'm going to back up a little bit. We'll get a better idea of where possible landfall will be as of today. Here's 11 a.m. on Monday, 2 p.m. Monday, and there we go. As of right now, guys, this is what the data is showing. And these are 10 meters above the ground winds, so right now it's projecting it will make landfall with excess of 100 miles an hour. That may change. We do know these storms weaken as they enter colder water, but guys, this thing's a monster. That's all I keep hearing. It's a total monster. It's over 400 miles wide. And also, really quick, guys, with the eye of these storms. The eye itself, usually around 30, 35 miles wide, but extending outward in that area, 75 miles, that's where you get your hurricane force winds. So a 75-mile area around the eye is a major danger zone. But then, guys, also 175 miles past that, all the way around, are tropical force winds. So wherever this thing touches, it's going to affect big time. Now, I want to back up one more time, and I want to explain why you guys need to realize just because the eye is shown to be passing on the east side, the coast of Florida is going to get hammered. Storm surge, waves, wind, rain. So regardless, Florida needs to be prepared as if it's getting hit. That's what I'm saying. But like again, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and I'm seeing myself even moving these warnings up north after seeing these spaghetti models. Check this out, guys. We're showing everything shifting east. There is one or two still showing it on the west side of Florida, a couple going right up the dead center. But more and more, every couple hours, these models are shifting east. And a lot of them are showing what we were talking about yesterday, guys. South Carolina, North Carolina landfall, possibly even Georgia, a little south. And then this blue one here, I'm not even getting into it. I'm not even going to get into it. We're going to keep an eye on that part of it. If this thing starts shifting sooner, that's when we put the northern states on alert. We're not going to do that right now. We need to focus on who's really at risk, and that is Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, guys. This is a big deal. And now I want to show you what's going on with the jet stream. Again, this might be repeat info, but it's very important. Here's our first frame. The jet stream is passing about twice as fast as I thought it would. So 2 days ago, here's Irma down at the bottom coming into the frame. This part of the jet stream was over in this area, which is why a lot of these models had Irma passing right up through the center of Florida and some even into the Gulf. But because of all different factors, because the jet stream picked up, Irma's moving faster, super high pressure in the Atlantic Ocean, and this big system forming in the Gulf are all keeping Irma on a path. And it's creating this channel for it to take. And you'll notice as the jet stream lifts up, way up into Canada, Irma is already making a northern shift here. This was not here yesterday. Yesterday, Irma was down here, staying west, and then at the last minute, hooked up towards the north. Now they show Irma to the north of these islands. Here's next. There is our first northern move. So here we go. This is where it's going to make its decision. And this is where the models are all starting to split up and either disagree or agree. Next shot right there, it seems to slow down almost. And then as this part of the jet stream passes, it's almost like it sucks Irma right up north. And there it goes. And that was the last frame. So I'll go back one. This is the last frame we can look at right now. So like I said, system here, high pressure in the Atlantic, and the jet stream raising up high. Irma has a place to go now, and that's north. And now, because of this, we need to watch on when this happens, because that will determine what part of the East Coast it will hit if it doesn't hit Florida. It still might. Here is current satellite images, Leeward Islands. I'm hearing things about St. Martin getting slammed right now. Barbuda got smashed last night. I'm going to put together video, pictures from that stuff later on today. Let's see. Okay, this is another version of the jet stream, guys. It may be a little hard to follow. I want you to follow my mouse. Here's Florida, and the east coast of the U.S. comes right up here. Now, I want you to see how the jet stream changes. We see the similar loop that we were talking about. And here's 1 day, 2 day, 3. And you see as the loop moves up, Irma comes in. This is high pressure here. You see the H, high pressure. Here's day 4, day 5, and day 6. It's passing by the east side of Florida. So guys, it's all about this jet stream and the different highs and lows around it. And there it goes. It shows it going up the east side of Florida into Georgia, South and North Carolina, and then into the middle of the country. But that may change. It may take a more northerly hook and go up even farther north. That's why these updates are so important. If not on my channel, there are plenty of channels doing these updates, guys. Very important. So let me back out here real quick. We'll take another look from the beginning. Here is Wednesday. All right, so this is what's going on right now, guys. You could put the Weather Channel on right now, and they're doing reporting on these islands here and how they're getting slammed in the effects, and the storm is still getting stronger. That's just wild. Here's Thursday. Here's Friday. Saturday. And now, between Saturday and Sunday, that's our new critical time period. That's going to let us really know where this storm's going. It may happen sooner than these charts. It may happen later. So, guys, that's why we need to stay on these charts. Landfall right there on Monday the 11th. Got some pictures for you. Here's another spaghetti model. As you can see, guys, a lot of these are going east. Some have this not even hitting Florida. Combination model, I believe. And now, again, we'll just touch on wind speed. We're at 185. That is 30 miles per hour over Category 5. Catastrophic winds. And like I said, remember, those hurricane force winds extend 75 miles out from the eye. And then 175 miles out from there are tropical force. So you get an idea of where the power comes from in these storms. And I will be focusing more on Jose. Jose is now a tropical storm. I believe it will turn into a hurricane, and then from there forward, we just don't know. It's like I said yesterday, it looks like it's just waiting for its turn to, put us all on alert once again. We will see what happens with that, but right now, guys, main focus is Hurricane Irma, one of the biggest storms the Atlantic Ocean has ever seen. Okay, and that's not just me making that up. That is a fact. Just for a few little things for people to think about if you are in the path of this hurricane. I've been in the path of hurricanes, so I've been in this situation. A few important things: food, water, some sort of utensil, a tool, a pocket knife, a Swiss Army knife, something like that. You should always keep personal ID on you for obvious reasons. Guys, water and batteries. All right, we need to start thinking ahead. I am not in any way telling people to go spend money they don't have. I'm just saying you need to think about this stuff, and it needs to be on everyone's mind. I mean, it's been 10 years since major landfall. Katrina was a big deal. Sandy was a smaller storm. It did a lot of damage and caught areas like New York and New Jersey off guard. But guys, it's been 10 years since major landfall. Harvey was 1. Irma looks like it's going to be 2. And then who knows after that. So we need to stay aware. The more people that have eyes on this, the better. Okay? And really quick, remember the jet stream is playing a big role in where this storm turns. So right now we have a north shift between Saturday and Sunday. And guys, according to the models, we need to start putting this area on alert big time. All right? Thank you all for following me. I'm going to have an update later on in the afternoon. That's all for now, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.